Mishaps happen in every stage of your life, and robbery is one of them. I've heard about quite a few throughout the years, ranging from intruders breaking into your residence, to parties denied an entry into prestigious heights in the most black magic way possible. And being the blasphemous, insensitive, derogatory young adult who's desperate to get his channel a push, I decided to pit two of these against one another. The Vshojo Scandal and Barca v Chelsea 09. Which is the bigger robbery? Okay, maybe we'll put this where it belongs. In the bit. It must belong in the. I assure you, this is really dark. Okay, maybe it's worth a put. I'm pretty sure this is retarded. So is dumb power scaling taken seriously? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Oh hey. Totally didn't see you there. Vtubing is basically a gateway allowing girls, which is now apparently an acronym for 41-year-old men with a voice changer, to don themselves cutesy, meticulous, intricate anime avatars. Framings is a bit uncanny and alien if I have to objectively speak, and that's clearly reflected every time this niche community managed to squeak themselves into mainstream.
The 5 VTubers in this category worked hard at mastering peak kawaii and ada aura farming.
Shut your lame ass up, man.
Personally, I find the process of all cool and would be more than happy to support the creators till the end. But what I don't know, right? It's not like you'd favor my humble and honest opinion over random hate swarms on the internet that you should totally take as gospel. Independent VTubing or indies is viable. In fact, it's the most prosperous VTubing faction at the moment. But that won't always be an option, especially if you're starting out. But fear not!
Oh, hi!
Entertainment companies realize that there is indeed a market that requires random girls online to consistently do uppies in ASMR.
This is not comedy ASMR. Stop.
Mwah. So they cashed in and formed agencies. Japan, the birthplace of VTubing, busted out two apostles, Hololive and Nijisanji in 2018. And Earth had a surprise guest just 2 years later. Yeah, the pandemic had everyone locked up more than SCP-2701, so they naturally pivoted to online entertainment that left their miserable quarantine labs up. So if you use your brain for more than 2 microseconds, inevitably people from all over the world will counter these lolly animatronics sooner or later, opening a potential floodgate to the undiscovered Western market. And one of the first to capitalize is Vshojo. Fast forward 5 years, the 21st of July 2025, their poster child, one of the biggest VTubers, an amiable, charming, charismatic, charitable, and emphatic figure to most, with an unfortunate circumstance being a chronic illness, Iron Mouse left the agency, being owed significant funds. Most importantly, the charity she owes her life to, the Immunodeficiency Foundation, had a vacant space where 500,000 was supposed to be. Her 2024 subathon, which broke the all-time Twitch sub record, raised 515,000. And the agency who's supposed to make the transaction on her behalf chose not to. Vshojo then sped around the achievement of being a talent agency with no talents in record time, with every single member saying their grievances, including, but not limited to, Case on quitting live on stream due to not being paid for 10 months.
I quit Vshojo today.
Kenya Michi Emily being scammed out of merch. Kuro got paid for his 2-year-old merch
Last month.
He may remember the password to specifically say she's jumping ship. People can't imagine Haruka being betrayed. Fruit returned a few hours before the whole thing went down. The Nova Girls all quit, burning their bridge with Universal. And for Project Melody, a bit sus, but she did take a break right after the debacle. That does not include grievances of the artists, musicians, fans, actual staff that care for the agency, and most interestingly, the former talents. Which is, another day at the office, I guess. The 500,000 was supposed to be paid by Vshojo on Iron Mouse's behalf. They shouldn't even touch that money. Gun run, when I find you, bro. Are you sure he's actually a Homo sapien? Because the sapien escaped to the milk store reuniting with this
Do
father
you suffer from a
figure.
lack of a father figure?
Sapien, what's up, man? Didn't know it actually existed as an individual word. And why are you at the milk store? You know your kid, right? Ignacio, Gandran, Justin, whatever. I'd like to leave his name out of my mouth now. What happened exactly? Let's just say he did something so nefarious that I'm abandoning ship, bro. So, Homo was just all alone? Now that I think about it, nah, not for long. You know my Latin booty? Erectus? He can take my spot. Or better yet, my long-distance cousin, Neanderthal. He can relieve Homo from his duties too, cause I ain't sure if even he wants to be there. Man, it don't wait a die. Sapien. Latin for wisdom, knowledge. The one who knows is associated with this caveman I built, bro. Kahit bahirang mo ba ko ng mi, yung di ako didaki sa kaya. Well, no surprise. You're his father figure after all. Putting this into context for 2 nanoseconds and you'd clock that this is the charity Mouse owes her life to, as she suffers from the same chronic illness the charity sought to help. Doing charity throughout the years with your friends just for your agency to take $500,000's got a sting. A lot! At this rate, orcas, octopi, Western Australian lantern sharks are more intelligent than this bomb-ass nincompoop. And don't think you're escaping this either. Philip Unfortunate? How about you mountain do us a favor and jump off our ship, mate? Because who invited my... Why is bro feigning ignorance? If I'm being honest, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. In the second biggest stage of club football, with the first being the final itself, the Champions League semi-final, between arguably the best football team in history, Barcelona, against Chelsea, who made the final last year. Which they totally did not let slip.
The Champions League for Chelsea.
However, people didn't remember it for Iniesta's goal, for Essien's goal. It was remembered by one of the most horrendous, abhorrent, and diabolical refereeing of all time. Daniel was tugging Maluda in the box, free kick. Abidal drowning Drogba one-on-one with the keeper 2 minutes later. No problem.
Nope.
Blatant PK handball. Still, no call from the ref. The ball legit ricocheted out of Eto's arm after Iniesta's goal that would put Barca through had Michael Ballack, the man known for finishing second his entire career, can do nothing but shout as the ref sprinted away from him, blowing the final whistle shortly after.
Whistle, and it's Barcelona who are in the final against Man.
1 or 2 calls, everybody makes mistakes. We don't have VAR then, so we'll give him leeway. 4 fries bag now.
Damn fries in the bag, bro. Alright.
This match single-handedly turned tiki-taka fanatics into die-hard Chelsea ultras. It doesn't take a Chelsea fan to do their best Brahim Diaz AFCON final impression, cause only black magic can explain why this brother called out 4 pens out of 4. Bro swapped hotels, left London secretly with UEFA security and SEAL Team 6 on him. And needless to say... Kid, my files ain't something that you can mess around with. Fuck off. This was supposed to be a clash between philosophies, the disciplined, tight, compact off-ball tactics of Gus Hiddink, and formerly the special one Mourinho, against the mesmerizing, fast-paced, iconic, one-of-a-kind tiki-taka spearheaded by Pep Guardiola. Stars like Messi, Iniesta, Essien, Eto'o, Lampard, Ballack, Anelka, Drogba, Piqué, Valdez, Cech, and now all the noise is from a ref who had as many as 6 game-changing errors. And of course,
Trying to stop Drogba getting himself into further trouble.
either bro has the biggest cojones fused with titanium in that short, or is just genuinely and rightfully crashing out to the maximum. I saw big drugs argue on fucking flip-flops, bruh. Flip-flops! Alright, now with all the aspects and specs out of the way, place your bets to see which robbery comes out on top. Okay, I'ma keep it real with you. There's absolutely no world that a football match gone wrong can match up with a corpo backstabbing a charity. 500,000, that's just way too much money. Considering all the manipulation tactics, dog water business model, nepotism, bad mouthing on 4chan and all places. One of the most visceral collapses in the recent entertainment sphere, for sure. People legit disappeared when the house is still there, and reappeared when there's now a hole where the house used to be.
However,
Not to say the comparison is a mismatch. VTubing, as we know, just hit its 10th anniversary this year. Football obviously exists way before that,
By Pat Partridge, he will now score.
with this happening in 2009. So the fact that it's the biggest sport in the world's biggest club competition, between two of the biggest teams stringing along the biggest names, is guaranteed to have tens or hundreds of millions witnessing robbery in broad daylight. If you're employed or don't even know what VTubing is, the Vshojo news will just fly over like the hellbomb. The chances are, you will know Barca and Chelsea are football clubs, or know people supporting them.
Blue is the color.
Or wearing the kids watching this video right now, making the magnitude/conspiracy beat out even the biggest of VTuber drama. Also being in the final means 4 mil euros in cash and 7 mil if you win it. So Buddy essentially robbed money too, if you want to say it like that. But then you'd clock that Vshojo's dark shit business model lasted 5 years despite getting exposed multiple times.
I was sitting there in meetings with people, like spending real time on this, writing up notes, handing written up things to people, etc. Nothing. And I was like, brother, in my mind, this is not something I said to them, in my mind, I was like, they should just give up.
Like, imagine not being paid for almost a year and no soul raising even a question. It's to the point they push their luck by stealing from a charity instead of making the payment for your biggest talent. A chronically ill person that can't even go outside and is over. Human greed knows no bounds, but the only thing giving that a run for its money is human stupidity itself. Hey, an upload in 2 weeks time? And it not being a sequel? We used to pray for times like these. Did you expect this crossover? No. Well, now you do. When it comes to random bullshit go, I don't think many creators can get close to me. Unless your name is Corey Kenshin.
you trying to get freaky or what?
Or HW. Or Amenyev with his For Those of Us Who Remembers.
All but eliminate a dire wolf side, like when dire wolves went extinct back in 8000 BC. For those of us who remember.
If you're someone like these brothers, who's looking for something that's attempting to break the oversaturation of YouTube, try me out. I don't mean to brag or self-glaze, just self-glaze. What I'm saying here is that if you're roaming this monochromatic land in search for shithousery that takes you back to the nostalgia land, I can be your guy. Examples: VTuber video, football video. Exact 2 topics in this one. Ain't those vids kinda mid though? Yeah, no shit. I ain't sugarcoating. These vids trash as hell. But give it a watch and leave some feedback. Most importantly, I really, really hope you can see the vision. I sound desperate, don't I? But I assure you, I'm not speaking out of my ass either. I can be my own visionary all I want, but the one turning these visions or even dreams into reality ultimately falls down to you guys. So if you want to claim your OG status and invest stocks that I assure you will never go to waste, now's the time. Really appreciate you guys for sitting through the whole thing and hearing this out too. See y'all on the next one.